What's going on? Looks like we got one person in here. Leave me a comment so I know who you are. Hey, what's going on, man? How are you? The pigeons are doing good. I got them out today. Looks like we have no rain until about 12, so I want to get them out for a couple hours. Yeah, sending love from Petey. Yeah, how's the cart doing this morning? I'll see him on Monday again. It's moving. Yeah, he's probably got a lot of business at this, 9 o'clock. Yeah, probably the last hour's been busy. Right, so which one of you two is getting pigeons? We got to grow this sport. Lots of trolls. Yeah, that's the problem. Once you get a big following, got to deal with the trolls. So when are one of you two getting pigeons? Or both of you guys? You got to try to grow this sport. It's dying out. Hey, Anthony, how are you? So is Petey. Petey's definitely getting pigeons. He don't know it yet, but deep down he knows it. But he's going to get pigeons. He thinks it requires more time than it does. It really doesn't require a ton of time. Just consistent time. Indiana. You ever heard of the Hoosier? The Hoosier is in Indiana, right? Hey, what's up, Rabbit? Womp womp. I believe the Hoosier is in Indiana. That's $1 million race. You can look it up. The Hoosier one loft race. Yeah, Skitch, you've seen that. This is nothing yet. This is the boring part. Wait until the net's gone and these birds are flying like demons. Then we'll start road training and taking them away and letting them out. It's everything's kind of slow right now because it's all baby steps. But before you know it, these guys are going to be tearing up the skies like little meat missiles. Yeah, you can see they just got spooked by my dog. I'm actually glad they have a healthy fear of my dog because my dog will eat them if she got the chance. Yeah, they're like little meat missiles, man. I'm going to flip this around real quick. I got to get my tripod. My arm's getting tired holding the phone. It's a lot of fun. Howdy from Texas. Hey, Irene, how are you? Got a lot of pigeons. A lot of pigeons in Texas, too. A lot of one loft races. A lot of guys fly down there. All right, let me set up my tripod. Sorry for the shaking. It's a pretty junky tripod. Yeah, come back when you get a chance. You got to share the love between here and Petey's cart. I figured I would just set this up while I have the birds out. I'm glad because of Petey, we got people coming over that don't have pigeons. You know, the majority of my following or subscribers, I believe, are already pigeon guys, but we really need to try and grow the sport. It was my grandfather did it in Brooklyn for like 60 years, and when it's in the heyday, probably back in the 80s and 90s, he had 100 guys in his club, and now clubs are lucky if they have 10 guys, because young people these days are just lazy. They don't want to do anything that requires going outside, anything that requires putting in a little bit of effort and a little bit of discipline. So and people think it's a lot more work than it is. It's really not a ton of work. So I'm pretty glad that PD sent some people over that aren't really familiar with the sport, and then maybe through my channel I can shed some light on how amazing it is, and how special these birds are. Thanks, Irene. Yeah, this is actually a batting cage I bought to try to keep these young birds safer right now. These are all my 2024 babies that all hatched between like New Year's and now, and you got to start settling them to the loft and letting them out. But in the winter up here, the hawks are really bad. A bunch of these guys, I think, were here on Sunday in my live when the hawk actually attacked them on camera. So this is just trying to get them some experience being out and not getting attacked by the hawk until they're stronger and more able to get away. So I got this table here they fly back and forth to. So here they are up there. Oops, sorry. Yeah, Irene, it's very popular in like Europe, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands. Very, very popular. It's Belgium's national sport, but here in America, it was really big, and now it's kind of dying out, which is sad because it's these birds are they did a lot in both world wars before we had all the modern technology. They were sending homing pigeons with the messages from the soldiers and everything from the trenches. They saved a lot of lives with how fast they are and their dedication to get home. So it is a little sad that it's dying out. But that's the point of my channel, is to show the sport. Not a lot of people know about it. So if one person gets birds because of my channel, I'll be very happy about that. A lot of the older guys, they don't do much on YouTube with this stuff because they think everything's a secret. How they feed the birds, the vitamins, the care. In the age of the internet, there are no secrets. When my grandfather did it, everything was a secret because the information wasn't readily available. But now it's if you can just search the internet, you can learn just about anything. And some of the guys are good. A lot of the older guys are really good about offering help and advice and stuff. There's some of them are stuck in the older ways, which doesn't benefit a dying sport. 7 people watching. Remember, if you just join, leave a comment, because I can't see everybody that's watching until they comment. Owen Jason, entry fee. Yeah, I mean, the one loft races have entry fees. The club fees you got to pay and everything, but you got to pay an entry fee for anything. men's league hockey, men's, you know, any sport you want to play. There's fees associated with everything, so it's more or less the same. What races? Well, I'm flying my club races and a few of the specials that are going on in the combine. I have 4 birds that made it to California yesterday for the Martinez Classic One Loft race. Alexandru, I'm not doing any of the band races. I'm gonna do the PAOF bond. I'm gonna do a bunch of the bond races. I don't really want to do the band races. I have a hard time justifying putting the bands on the babies, paying the money, and then losing the birds. Not even having them come race time. So I'm gonna do the bonds. So I think the Patterson Sprint is a bond race. I have the sheet in my email. Yeah, Irene, sometimes they find you. So you may make friends with one of them. Sometimes, you know, one gets lost or gets hurt and they end up in your front yard needing some help. And then the next thing you know, you're friends with a pigeon. Alexandra, where do you, what club are you flying in? Are you from the area? New York, Queens. Oh, okay. Still close. I'm down in Monmouth County, Jersey. But I work in the city. SQC and Long Island Combine. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in the CJC. I fly in the Bayshore Club. Oh, my pal, the crows are here. I needed them the other day. I'm glad they're back. They nest in a tree. They nest in a tree like three houses down. So when they have their nests, they do a really good job of keeping the hawks away. Here's one of my crows. There he goes. We my wife and I just set up a feeder. We have a in her garden on the other side of the house. We made a little platform with a tray on top that we have, you know, peanuts and all kinds of stuff that crows like to eat. And then I put a fake crow up to try and attract them to my yard. Trying to befriend the crows. Do you have any big problems with the hawks down in Queens? Big problem. Yeah, it's really bad. It really is. I had a hawk, was it Monday? Monday, Cooper's hawk, just slamming into this thing. Ethan, no, these are homers. These are racers. They're just babies, so they're a little uncoordinated and they spin in circles. And then I have a couple German tail owls over there that I use as droppers. I think there's 4 tail owls out there. The rest are homers. But yeah, Alexandra, that's what I'm. Oh, you got the net. Did you order it from? Is it the same one? Yeah, I think the net's gonna help a lot with settling these babies. Oh, you have to set it up on the roof. Oh, you're up on a roof. That's old school. Yeah, it is a little bit of a pain in the butt. If I had to take this down and set it back up every time I wanted to get the birds out, that would be a nightmare. But I'm planning on using it for another couple of weeks. At least probably 2 more weeks at the most, half the size. Yeah, but that's still good. That's still good. It's still much bigger than a regular settling cage, so it should really help. But these guys got about 2 more weeks of this net, and then I got to take it down because the other half of my aviary, other half of the loft over there are the old birds, and I got to start letting them out, and they definitely don't need this net. They're good to go. I just got to worry about this hawk with them because, they haven't flown since October, so they got to stretch out, get back in game shape. So I might take them maybe quarter-mile away instead of just loft flying here. I might let them out. There's a school. It's like a quarter of a mile from here, a big soccer field. I might just take them on a toss there. So it's not too far for the first time out, but, close enough they'll be back in a minute. But the hawk won't see them coming out of the loft. Let them out somewhere else. Yeah, this will be my first old bird season, so I'm excited and a little nervous. I know it's a whole new ball game with motivating them and stuff. Yeah, they got some far ones. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the 400s and 500s. By that point, I think we might be pretty heavy into training the young birds. So I'll probably I'll stop after the 300 or the 350. Then focus on getting these young birds road trained. The other nice thing about the net, Alexandra, is being able to let them out like real young. I have a bird out here that's a blue bar. Let me see if I can see him. If you can tell, I don't know if you can see from the camera. Anything with a blue band, snap-on band, I weaned this week. And with the net, I already have them out because they can't go anywhere. So they're learning everything. I'm not even teaching them. They're just following the other birds. How much money do you win in club races? The club races are really just for fun. It's like the specials and everything that the combine does. The band races and the bond races. That's where you can make a little bit of money. But the club races are just that club stuff. But yeah, I wanted to go live while the birds were out. Usually I'll make a video and the birds they'll already have been out for an hour or two and they kind of start to calm down, get a little bored. So I wanted to start it as soon as I let them out because they got some energy now. But you can see how good the net is. They're getting a lot of practice. A lot of practice going back to the loft. I think it should go pretty well when I take the net down. They're learning a ton. And they're learning how to do things together. Building a little bit of muscle. Yeah, you know what's also nice about it too, Alexandra, is that they're learning this on their own. It's not me like forcing anything. You know, like they're just figuring it out at their own pace. And they're figuring it out fast too. It's actually the landing down on the landing board and everything. I remember last year letting out the youngsters for the first time. They first time I let the young ones out last year, they immediately go to the roof of the loft, and then the jumping down to the landing board is like the hardest. For some reason, it's like the hardest thing they have to do, and they freak themselves out once coming down, and then the next thing you know, they're on your neighbor's roof for 5 hours. But this, they should be, I'm hoping, theoretically, more comfortable landing on the landing board than landing anywhere else. Or even on the floor in front of the loft. I mean, in the beginning, if they want to land on the floor and then jump up, that's fine too. But they should be very comfortable with landing back on the loft. Got a bunch of babies that hatched in the last day or two. Some hatched last night. So I'm hoping after this second round, maybe a couple of pairs of birds I'll have go back down on like a third round, and then that's it. Should be done soon. A lot of people are probably at work right now. I'm on vacation this week, so the usual casting crew is probably working. I'm probably gonna have, I'll probably breed maybe around 52 young birds, and then that should be it. I only asked for 60 bands this year, and how many? 4 and 7 I'm sending to OLRs, so I've only got 53 left for myself. So 53 is the most I can breed. I mean, I could always get more bands, but 53 is, I think that's a good number. I don't really want any more than that. How about you? How many are you breeding this year? I also liked having a smaller number of birds last year on the race team. I had, going into road training, I had like 35 birds. So it was nice. It was 2 crates, 2 training baskets, and that's it. 100. I wouldn't even know what to do with 100 birds. I don't have the room for it. I'd have to get rid of all my old birds, and then maybe I could have 100 in there. If I was an old bird specialist, a young bird specialist, and I only did young birds, then yeah, maybe I could do that. But I like my birds from last year's young bird team, the ones I have left. We'll see how they do in old birds, because I want to test them. I want to breed from within. I don't want to keep spending money on breeders. I'd like to build from my own birds, from the birds I have. Yeah, but back to what I was saying before, we gotta really try to find a way to grow this sport again, attract new people. Nobody, unless you were 500 or 600 miles. Yeah, no, listen, I'm not there. I'm probably not going to make it to that this year, just because I had a small team last year. We had a couple of really bad races weather-wise, and I only have 12 birds left from my team last year. So I'll probably race up to the 300, and then whoever's left will get a break, and then I'll focus on young birds so I can bolster my old bird team. But yeah, we gotta find a way to grow this sport. It's a shame, like nobody's ever heard of it unless you have a family member, you know, an uncle or a father or some, you know, grandfather that did it, or a neighbor that does it. You know, you have no idea about this sport. And it really amazes me how not more people know about it, considering how big of a role they played in a couple of major wars that involved the whole world. So I'm trying. I try to, you know, stay consistent with the YouTube, show people the sport. I post on Instagram and Facebook, you know, trying to get more younger people to see it. Need some younger people involved. Tim, yeah, Tim. Some people are just jerks. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You got to find like the right people. And where's your local pigeon group? Is it like on social media or something, or club, like in person? It's a club. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's what I was saying before. You got like some of these older guys. It's, you know, they all say they want they all say they want the sport to grow, but then when it comes time to putting those words into actions, all their actions show is that they don't want the sport to grow, and they push new people away. You know, this isn't the days of you know, this isn't the 70s, 80s, and 90s where people were getting into the sport naturally, and you could have secrets and you could be a little more cutthroat because you wanted to win. And now in today's day and age, you know, nobody's doing it. So if you want it to grow and you want it to survive, you have to be nice to people, and you have to be willing to help them and educate them and share some advice. And, you know, you don't have to tell them everything. You know, some stuff you got to learn on your own. You know, I agree with that, but you know, helping a guy out get started is, you got to do that if you want it to grow, especially in this hobby. Any hobby, experienced guys should be willing to help new people. No, they really don't understand that. They don't. Not all of them. Not all of them. Some of the guys are really good. I have to say, I got really lucky with my club. Two of the guys specifically, Silvio at Matus Loft, who you guys, I'm sure you follow his channel. If you don't, it's Matus Loft. He's a genuinely kind person who wants to see the sport grow and wants to see the people he helps succeed. Some of the guys will help you until you beat them, and then they stop helping you. Silvio is the type of guy who, you know, in the race season last year, he wanted me to win more than he wanted himself to win. And he was so excited when I did well. And, you know, that's the mark of a good person. And then I have another friend in the club who really helped me a lot too. And the same way, you know, they both took the time. They both answered my questions. And, you know, a lot of my questions I asked were probably stupid in the beginning. But, you know, to me, they weren't stupid. I legitimately didn't know. And now looking back after, you know, going into my second year, if I asked those questions to me now, I'd probably think they were stupid. But, you know, new guys, you got to help out. Both those guys were outstanding. They both helped me out with some birds, with some good quality breeders to get started and have some decent birds to fly. Silvio answered any question I had, took my birds training when he went. My friend John was the same way. He took my birds for me the majority of the time. Silvio's a great guy. And my friend John, too, in the club. He's not on social media. He's a little private with his pigeons. But he really helped me out, too. He helped me out a ton, so much. Both of them, so much. And all the guys in the club were nice. I mean, you know, not all of them offered help, which is fine. But they all treated me well, which is all I can ask for. Is, you know, treat me with respect, treat me well. You know, just because I'm new doesn't mean I'm not a person who's trying. And they all seem to really understand that. So it was nice. I had a good experience. And I'm sorry that Tim, you didn't have that type of experience. The guys in your club should have been kinder to you and more willing to help. And that's a prime example about why the sport's not growing. Some of these guys just, what's Silvio's loft name? It's Maydis Loft, Maydis Loft. Yeah, that's it, Tim. I mean, if the guys in your area aren't willing to help you, you got to seek help elsewhere. And then, just remember who those people are. Remember how it felt. And, don't do that to a new person when a new person turns to you for advice one day. Oh, and yeah, it's sad. It's sad. It's sad how some of these guys are. Like I said, these older guys, they all talk that the sport's dying. They want the sport to grow, but then their actions are the complete opposite. And, and I'm not trying to insult anybody, but if you're watching this and what I'm saying insults you or is offensive, and maybe you're one of those people. But I'm really not trying to insult anybody, just shedding light that we got to grow the sport. And it's not, and it's not just pigeon guys, so I'm not singling them out. I'm a big fisherman too. Fishing is the same exact way. Nobody wants to help anybody. Nobody wants to share tips. Everybody thinks that there's, the only fish in the ocean are the fish they're catching, and God forbid they tell anybody or somebody finds out what they're using. So it's every sport. Every sport is like that, and that mentality needs to change. He flies good. Yeah, Alexandra Silvio's a tremendous flyer. He really is. He's really dialed into his birds. So yeah, we got to try and grow the sport. Luckily, it seems like I just walked out of the club meeting. Yeah, Tim, that sucks. That really sucks. So I'm really sorry you went through that. It's really not cool. Especially new. You want somebody to show you what's the proper weight, what to look for in a wing, what to look for in the throat. That stuff is, especially the throat and everything like that. That's hard to learn online. Like that's I found one of the hardest things to get an explanation of on the YouTube or something. And I had a guy, Eric. He's EB Loft. He's on YouTube too, so check him out. He's up in Staten Island. He's a great guy too. So I had him here. He came to drop off a bird, and he came and helped me vaccinate these guys. And any question I asked him, he answered. He took the time to answer. Showed me what to look for in their throats. And like I said, I feel like the younger guys are gonna breathe a breath of fresh air into this sport, and in all sports and hobbies. It's the younger guys have more patience. Yeah, the internet has a lot of good information. You can learn a lot. You really don't need somebody, for everything. Some stuff you need, it's nice to have a real person in person showing you, but majority of it, yeah, you can learn it online. Yeah, widowhood is something I would like to do. I would like to fly widowhood hens one year. I really liked how my hens did last year for me. All my best birds seemed to be hens. They were the most consistent. They're just very reliable, I feel, in my limited experience. So I would like to do widowhood hens one year. Just don't have the room for that right now. I'd have to build, at the very least, another section. And I don't know if my wife will be too happy with that, because I've already taken up a majority of the corner of my yard. But yeah, to anybody here who's had a bad experience looking for guidance in this sport, just know not everybody's like that. Not everybody is miserable. A lot of people will be willing to help. I just ordered a batting cage. LOL. Tim, I took I took a gamble on this thing this year. I was like, how do I, because, well, I'll backtrack. Last year, I did what Frank McLaughlin said, and I gelled the flights of my late hatches, because by the time my late hatches were ready to go out, my older rounds were, routing for like an hour and a half. And I was like, I can't let these late hatches out now. I'll never see them again with the way these other birds are flying. And I don't have time to train like 2 teams now. So in June, when I locked the older birds down to molt, I started working with the late hatches, and I gelled their wings. And they like Frank said, and they couldn't go anywhere. They were on the roof of the loft. They could maybe make it to the roof of my house. And I did that for like 2 weeks. I washed the gel off, and then I just let them out. And they settled like so easy. But that was only 11 birds I had to gel their wings. So this year I was like, how am I going to gel 40 birds' wings? I'll be out here for 3 hours. I'm going to go through 5 pounds of hair gel. So I decided to look into some type of a netting, and I randomly thought about the batting cages that were at the park when I grew up playing t-ball. And I was like, those would make a great settling cage, but they're probably really expensive. And then I started thinking, all right, what about maybe something portable for like golf? So I just searched portable batting cages, and I found exactly what I was looking for and thinking about. Yeah, TikTok songs. Yeah, these are racing pigeons. Who see something they don't like, but I don't think it's the hawk. I think it's the little birds in the tree flying around making noise. Let me know how the net works out for you, Tim. I was joking around with my wife that whoever makes this net should, I think, give me my money back, since all of you guys are buying batting cages now. But to me, it's already paid for itself. They've been attacked by the hawk 4 times already out in this net. He can't get them. They can't scatter on me, and they're learning to go back to the loft. So that's a good thing. There's the hawk. There he is, right there, flying by. Yep, they saw him. They saw him from a ways away. He just went past my neighbor's house right there. He just went past, but like way off behind those trees. All right, Alexandra, see you at the races. Thanks for joining in. Oh, there he is. Look. Can you guys see him up there? He's right there. Cooper's hawk. The crows see him, though. The crows are going to go get him. I hear the crows. They know he's here. I don't know if you guys can hear the crows behind me. They're in the tree in my neighbor's yard. But you can see the birds. They all know that hawk's here. That's why they're silent now. Same problem with the falcons. Yeah, it's bad everywhere. The only thing that I have to my slight advantage is let me spin this for anybody who's new to the channel. Is right there we have chickens and turkeys. We have 3 roosters and a big tom turkey. And the turkey, his eyesight is incredible. He knows these hawks are coming before anybody else does. And he has like an alert sound that the pigeons have learned. So when he makes the sound, they flood back to the loft, or they just take off and get out of here. So that really helps. Yeah, there goes the crow. It wasn't a hawk, that was the crow. That's how important crows are. Crows are they're the best when it comes to the hawks. They really keep the birds safe. Caught one with a trap. Yeah, I mean, here we can't use a trap. We can't do anything to them. Crows and seagulls. I don't have seagulls over here, but I mean, we do. We're close to the water, but they don't come by my house. We have the crows, which are the best, and we have a couple of bald eagles that fly over every once in a while. Usually when the bald eagles are around, I don't see any hawks. But the crows, they do the best. I always get excited when I get off the bus, when I get home from work. I walk down the street. If I see the crows and hear the crows, I just come running home. I let the birds out. I'm like, oh, the crows are around. There's no hawks. The crows are around right now, so that hawk kept going. He sees the birds, but they're less ballsy when the what's up, brother? Hey, Skits. Just hanging out with the birds. They just got spooked a little bit by a hawk, but the crows are here, so he didn't stop. He kept going. Although he's probably in a tree right now. Yeah, I've seen the crows fight the hawk. The crows have actually saved my birds a couple of times. Last year I had my race team out. They were calling them in for dinner after a quick fly, and the red-tail dive bombed them, and the crows intercepted him, and they beat the hell out of him in a tree until he left. So that's why we're trying to befriend the crows. Skits, I'm gonna need some. So after I end the live, I can't see any of these comments. So after I post the live, can you leave me a comment with some tips on how to attract the crows? My wife and I have been trying for a couple of years, and we're just like not very successful. Hey BDK, what's going on? High praise from PD's live. High praise from everyone. Yeah, PD's his live is awesome to watch. There they go. Came by. Let me see if I flip this around. You guys can see the crows. See the crows? They're all up in that tree over there. That's one of their lookouts. They just like sit in that tree and they just watch the neighborhood. And that flat top pine tree right there is where they nest. So, yeah, Skits, I have a pond in my yard. I have a koi pond, and my wife has a water garden out front that she has set with like rocks and stuff for the birds to drink out of. And then we have I built like a platform up high off the ground. And we have peanuts in it, and I put eggs in it, and like dried fruit, all kinds of stuff that I read that they like to eat. And I even put a decoy crow to try and attract them. All right, somebody wants the chickens. Womp womp. You want chicken. There's the chickens. Just hanging out. Feed them bird feeder with black oil sunflower seeds. Yeah, I'll go get that stuff at Tractor Supply. There's the turkey. It's a muddy mess in there from all the rain. Yeah, Skits, any info would be appreciated. I read that if you can get the crows to start feeding in your yard, they'll guard it like it's their nest. And that's what I need. I need the crows. My pigeons need some muscle up in the sky, having their back. Maybe I can teach the crows that if they protect the pigeons, I'll give them extra treats. Almonds and walnuts. Is it the whole walnut in the shell, or already cracked? Problem is the damn squirrels, and nuts aren't cheap, and the squirrels clean you out. Just the nut. Okay. I can do that. It's like stuff I can get at the grocery store. I don't mind eating a squirrel. Well, I live in the north, and my wife would probably kill me if I brought squirrel in for dinner. BDK, I'm going into my second year racing. Grandfather had them, had the racers for like 60 years. So I was basically born around pigeons. He passed away. I was in my early 20s, and life was a little too busy then to get into it. Well, for me anyway. So I got into it a year ago, and I'm not looking back. I truly love it. It's, to me, this is like breathing. Just spending time with the birds, taking care of the birds. I love every second of it. Shit on everything if you mess with them. Hey, listen, my wife fills the bird feeders every day, so even if we put their feeder together and they start eating out of it, it's not like they'll go without food. And we get plenty of eggs. I know they like eggs. 46 and retired. Man, I need your secrets to life. Yeah, Tim. I don't. You know, you'll agree. It's like a hobby where once you start, it's amazing. Like can't see myself ever not having them now. There they go. All right, back to the loft. This is such good practice for them. Tim, are you new to the channel? Because I can go go in the lofts and everything and show you the breeders and some of my old birds. I don't need to. I don't need to do that if there's everybody here has seen all that stuff. But if there's anything anybody wants to specifically see, let me know. I don't mind. Oh, okay. I try to remember. Where do I race? I race them. Well, I'm in a club, a local club that flies in the Central Jersey Combine, and they race out towards they get taken out like various race stations in Pennsylvania up to 300 miles, and they race back. All right, Skits, take it easy. Say hi to Petey for me. I think the crows see my decoy crow I put out. I put out a fake crow to try to attract them to the yard where their feeder is. I think they finally found it and they're scoping out if it's safe. Oh, you're blue and gold macaw. Can't fly. I saw a guy on Instagram, Tim. He's got the macaws and he lets them like free fly. Were you able to do that? Danza Loft. Danza Loft does have a Facebook, also an Instagram. I'm not as active on the Facebook though, so if you have Instagram, I would go to that one. I do mostly everything on YouTube, and then I'll put up like some short reels on Instagram. There's that hawk again. He's just lurking. He's just lurking. He's waiting for me to leave. He's right over to my left, off in the distance, circling. That stinks, Tim. Is he okay now? I guess he's just a house macaw now, getting spoiled. One of these days I'm going to learn to bring their food out with me so I don't have to go in the house and get it and then have the hawk attack as soon as I turn my back. Well, Tim, you let me know. Any of the birds you want to see specifically? I can get these guys in. Any of the parents you want to see, I can show you their wing and, you know, give you a little breakdown of them. There he is. There's the hawk. Look at him. Let's see. There he is. See him? It's a little blurry. See him up there? He sees them. And they see him. All right. And there's the crow going by with nesting material. I'm gonna go get their food, and I'm gonna let them come in, just because I don't want them to get tormented again for the third day in a row. So I just saw the hawk go by. He's not here now. I'm gonna run in real quick. I'm gonna grab their food. I'll be right back. Need the feed cups. All right, I'm gonna call them in. Let's see how well they listen today. They like to make me look bad when they're on camera. Let's see how they do. Well, it looks like they did all right. Maybe they'll close that up. This is the worst part, is the climb under. Yeah, they did all right. Yeah, Tim, they're doing pretty good. You know, I have the bob trap, and I'm not really a fan of it. They're much slower when the bobs are down. I have a couple of birds that, you know, no matter how many times we do it, they just are apprehensive about it. So I think I'm gonna switch from the bobs to Belgian drop trap, or what else do they call it? Crap, I don't remember. It's like a Russian name, whatever that Russian rocket was. But yeah, I think I'm gonna switch to that. And yeah, BDK, that food motivation right there. Yeah, the bob trap. You know, my birds last year didn't have a problem with it, but I didn't put the bobs down just now, and you saw how fast they went in. If the bobs were there, I'd have birds still out right now. And they've gone through it 100 times. They just get apprehensive. But let's go in. Let's check out some babies. I had some babies hatch in the last day or so. So let's go check them out. Check out some babies. Got some that are getting close to BDK. Let me go around. I'll show you a bob trap. I'll show you real quick. Then we'll go into the breeder loft. All right, so these are bobs. When the birds are out, they can push these bobs out or in. They can come in, but then they can't get back out. So it's like a trap door. And the birds they're apprehensive of pushing these in. They take their time. They don't like doing it. So they have like a Belgian, it's like a drop trap. So it's angled down with bars that they can fit through, and they'll just drop down into the loft, and they come in a lot quicker. I've been figuring out. So I may switch over. This is my my old bird team. They don't have a problem with the bobs. They come right in. These are the young birds. Their section over here that were just outside, and they were a little slower with the bobs. And I think I'm gonna switch over, have them come in quicker. And so let's go into here, BDK. Here's the loft. This is the old bird section. And then the other side over there is the young birds. So keep them separate, 2 separate teams. Because these guys are mature. They want to go back on eggs. This is my best hen from last year. She's a maniac. But she did really good last year for me. And her boyfriend was my best cock from last year too. Those two are really good birds. Let's go around. We'll go around to the breeder loft real quick. I haven't seen this hawk, so I wanted to get them in. They've just been tortured by him for every time they're out, and it screws up, you know, the training, calling them in to eat. Wanted to get them in today from me calling them, not from the hawk scaring them in. In today on a positive instead of a negative. All right, so BDK, we're in the breeder loft now. We got this little lady's on an egg. Should be 2 soon. There's one of her babies, almost ready to be weaned. A few more days. Got that girl right there. She'll be on eggs again soon. Her baby's right there. I got to clean in here today. But here you see how little they are. These guys just hatched. One yesterday and one overnight. So they're real small. You just hatched 2, I believe. There's her little babies right there. We got some babies here. I got to put another nest bowl for them. Do you have a baby? You were hatching. Let's see. Oh, there's a freshie. Look at that. Look at that freshie right there. You guys get to watch a baby pigeon hatch. Yeah, they look like aliens. My kids hate the way they look, BDK. My kids make fun of them. Call them like ugly flamingos. But now you guys get to watch a baby hatch. What they say in Jurassic Park? Push. Push, little one, push. I gotta clip this as a short, give it to my wife. Yeah, you get to see baby hatch in real time. This baby's actually from a pair in the other loft. I didn't want them to raise another set of babies, so I brought the eggs over. Let's see. Watch out, Mama. Get that out of the way. Your baby's out. Your baby's out. Good job, Mama. Well, you guys got to see a baby hatch in real time. Super. Yeah, they're real ugly when they hatch. And I think she has an egg that's hatching. There's a story behind this bird, but I'm not going to get into it right now. Let's see. Are you hatching? Yes, you are. You can see the egg starting to hatch. Starting to crack. Win Mama is right. These guys their babies are getting a little bigger. This is a boy. He is a mean guy with his babies. They're gonna need to be banded tomorrow. And then I've got these 2 are not on eggs again. They should be. They should have been for a while. Some babies here. These are maybe 10 days old, 12 days old. More little racers. And then here's one even a little younger, which I have to band today. There's a solo in the nest. Very ugly. Like I said, my kids hate the way they look. And then I got this little mama right here back on an egg. And there's her other babies getting bigger. So yeah, here's some of the other parents that aren't sitting right now. So these are all the breeders. They're not flying. They're just in here, living their life, just getting spoiled rotten and making me good babies. So all the birds in here have... Yeah, I try to band anywhere between the 5th and the 7th day. That baby I probably should have banded yesterday. So I may be breaking out the Vaseline to get the band on. But yeah, anywhere between 5 and 7 days. Typically the 7th day, then I don't have to worry about the band coming off. But I'm gonna see if my wife can go grab me the bands. We'll slap a band on the live and then probably wrap this up. Hey, Jen.
Don't worry.
Never mind, I'll grab it. I'm still live. I just need my bands. Penelope, you want to say hi? Say hi to Penelope, my youngest. What's the matter? It won't move? It's stuck? All right. Oh, thanks, Tim. Is that a hawk? That's a vulture. Yeah, Derek, if they're coming off, you're banding them too soon. The 7th day is going to be a little better for you. It's a little harder to get the band on, but they don't come off as easily. Let me see. I'll prop this here. Let me get a band. I'll get the baby, and then we're gonna wrap this one up. Keep my bands on a piece of wire. The bands are their like identification number. It's got the year they were born, a number on it, and the club that you're in. And the year is really important because for young bird race season, they have to be this year's birds. And the band says 2024. The bands aren't available prior to January 1st, and you can only get this band on a 6-day-old bird. I'll show you right now. So let's see. So you got the foot. I need a feather. Taking that feather. So you slide the band over the 3 toes. See? 3 toes in. You gotta pull that. So now the 4th toe is back. I don't know if you can see it push back like that. And then I use the quill of a feather. You get it right in between the toe and the leg, and then you pop that back toe out. Now the band's on. And as they grow, it can't come off anymore because right now their toes are like real flexible, so you can get the band on. And then the bird grows, the bones stiffen out, and that band will never come off unless it loses its foot. But it's very important to be banded. But all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up now. It's been over an hour, and I'm gonna go inside, give my wife a hand with the baby while I'm off, and I might go play some video games on this rainy day. But listen, everybody, thanks for joining in, and I'm home all this week, so I'm gonna try to do a live when I'm out here with the birds. Yeah, no problem, Tim. Yeah, I'm home all week. Tomorrow, I think, is going to be a cloudy day. I'll have the birds out again, Friday too. So if I'm out here with the birds, I'll go live. I'll put that up on my community page to remind everybody. I'm usually out here in the mornings, Eastern Standard Time with the birds, and then during the week when I'm at work, after work. But all right, everybody, take it easy, and thanks for joining in, and I'll see you in the next video.